You can go. And then let me know.
All right, I'm going now.
Man, barely made it in time. Are we live?
We are.
We're live. Guys, it's Tuesday afternoon. It's Southern Oregon, and we're live. Today is Prime Day. Chris, go ahead and drop that link in the description below. We're starting out on a good note. We're starting out with our Prime Day epoxy sale. We've got our Art Coat on sale. That's our most UV resistant product that Stone Coat carries. It's designed for white and light colored countertops, as well as protecting whatever art that you want to hang out in front of Mother Nature, in front of the sun, and it will stay color fast for years to come. Art Coat on sale right now. Chris, drop that link. Click that link. So that's going to jump over to our website where you could take advantage of 20% off our Art Coat epoxy, as well as, if you don't know, we have a straight cut saw guide. This is a pretty cool tool that my brother invented. It comes with these 2 tracks, and we have a video on our YouTube channel that teaches you how to turn these 2 tracks into a straight cut DIY, very affordable straight cut saw guide. Kind of like what the Festool straight cut saw guide does, but not as expensive, not as fancy, but it's something that every DIYer needs. If you want to break down sheet goods real rapidly without having to haul giant heavy sheets of 4x8 MDF around, grab that saw guide. Take advantage right now, 20% off. Click that link in the description below. Go over to our Amazon page and start saving right now. Today, we got a very special project going. We're going Blue Ghost 2.0. If you haven't seen that video, we have them on the channel. We dropped it about 11 months ago, called Blue Ghost Marble. We use that Blue Ghost powder from Just Resin. You can pick that up at artisttilldeath.com or over at RK3 Designs. They both carry some of those specialty epoxy pastes and powders that Stone Coat doesn't offer currently. We're looking into carrying some, but for the time being, jump on over to artisttilldeath.com or RK3 Designs for a few of these specialty colors that I'm showcasing in today's project. Blue Ghost 1.0 used colors black dye, silver metallic, royal green, and Blue Ghost from Just Resin. We're condensing and consolidating our metallic line, so royal green is no longer available, but we do have forest green, which is quite legendary. It's almost a mystic moss with a little touch of blue in there. It's awesome. So that's right here. That's my forest green. We're going Blue Ghost 2.0. We're leveling this one up, and I'm adding some specialty colors. We're going with Ebony Luster from Color Passion, Blue Ghost from Just Resin. You can pick those up at Artists of Death or RK3. And from Stone Coat, we're going black dye, silver metallic, forest green metallic, and I got my special 1-to-1 mix of black mica and Crater Lake. So Crater Lake is super vivid blue, but check out when you go a 1-to-1 mix of Crater Lake and black mica, you get the deepest depths of Crater Lake. That's going to be sweet. It's almost like our royal blue metallic that's no longer available, but combining colors together, the color possibilities are truly endless. Enough yapping, let's get to the fun part. We're building Ghost Blue Marble right now. These smaller cups of epoxy are my accent colors, so I'm going to set those aside. On Ghost Blue 1.0, I just use black dye, but today I'm using black dye, half Ebony Luster. Ebony Luster from Color Passion is a black opaque dye, but it has a metallic, like, ooh, let's see if you can see that right there. I'm going to put our normal black dye right next to it, and you see how it has a shimmer? Does that even show up on camera? Black dye versus Ebony Luster. You see the difference? You probably barely can. It's hard to see blacks, guys, on camera, but it really adds a metallic shimmer, a gunmetal look. It is a fantastic color additive. Step 1, we're getting our base colors down. That's our black dye. If you don't want to go with the Ebony Luster, just go with black dye. We're going to wet down our board. We're just creating a base color. It really doesn't matter how this looks. It's little parts of this are gonna go through as we start building layers, but we're just starting with a base coat. So you could use your gloved hand to spread this. You could use a Bondo spreader, a shower squeegee, or a magic trowel. What is a magic trowel? That is your silicone tipped reusable floor squeegee that does amazing. See, you could just wet down that board real quick using a magic trowel. So if you're doing this for a customer and you're doing a bunch of countertops, I recommend getting a magic trowel. It'll speed up the base coat process, and then it does amazing things with the epoxy when we start layering in colors. Guys, let me know in the comments below where the heck y'all are watching from. We love to see how far our reach goes. We had people from, golly, the Middle East on the last live, which was amazing. I don't think we've ever had people from like Turkey. There's folks from Turkey watching. That's pretty dang cool. I've never been to Turkey. I'd love to go. Anybody in the watching been to Turkey? Let me know, man. And we have another special live happening this week. I'm heading out to do a really cool project. I'm doing a epoxy flake floor for an older widow. Really nice lady. I've been saving up money forever to try to fix up her patio for her grandchildren and her rotten porch. She can't let her kids go, her grandchildren go out there because they're gonna rot through it. So we're gonna go out and fix it up for her. That video is coming out. I cannot wait for that. It's gonna be awesome. So my base color's down. You probably only see shiny black. But as I'm looking at this in person, it's epic. That ebony luster looks fantastic in here. Golly. It's really metallic, very pretty. Beautiful base color. And don't forget to click that link in the description below. 20% off art coat happening right now for Amazon Prime Day. Today and tomorrow, 20% off art coat as well as our saw guide. All right, I hit my edges if you didn't notice. I just take my gloved wet hand. I'm rubbing my edges, making sure those are wet. That way the epoxy flows nice and even over those edges as we start to build this piece. And also, guys, let me know any questions, like right now from Joel H. How does the magic trowel compare to the standard 1/8" by 1/8" square notch trowel? Both spread the epoxy, but definitely different uses and techniques. The 1/8" by 1/8" notch trowel is what we use to spread our clear coats or specific countertop techniques. That's this guy right here. You can pick this up on our website. When you apply 3 ounces per square foot, like for the Carrara marble, the soapstone, specific epoxy finishes like that, you're gonna pour your epoxy in the middle and then you'll spread that perfectly. This is way less than 3 ounces per square foot. I have maybe 1.5 ounces at the most as my base, and then I'm gonna bring in my accent colors and start melding by hand. So I'm not even gonna use this notch trowel for this epoxy finish. Tomorrow when I come back and do my clear coat, I'm definitely gonna use this. I'll mix up 3 ounces of clear epoxy, pour it, trowel it. That spreads that 3 ounces per square foot with a minimal amount of waste over that project perfectly. Then you come back, chop that top, remove the air, clear coat is complete. The magic trowel is more like a shower squeegee where we're gonna pull it tight. But then more than just a shower squeegee, it has a flex to it. It has a much larger silicone tip. So you can grab those colors and really pull them over and make some really cool effects, which you're about to see. So hold tight, guys. Here comes the fun part. It's now time to just take our accent colors and start creating this countertop. And that is, we're just gonna randomly start with small amounts of our blue. This is our blue ghost. I'm gonna add a couple accent colors at a time, and we're gonna start hand melding. Here's a little of that silver. And I'm just gonna hand meld. That's how I'm gonna start. And to hand meld is I'm grabbing colors, I'm walking it into my base, I'll walk the base colors back over. I'm just kind of leveling up that base color. And if I have too much silver, I can pick up some blue and bring it right on over that. Because that is a little too much silver. So again, too much silver, bring it into your blue. And I'm just creating a base color with various amounts of pressure as I meld my hand across this project. And you're going to keep your flow. You kind of can really steer the way your project goes at this point by hand. It's not like an exotic pair where you mix all your colors in and then you just pour that right out over your piece. We have more control when you're going by hand. I'm going to bring in a tiny bit of this green. This is a little bit of a different green than last time, so I'm going to test it. Yeah. Ooh. That's kind of cool. I'm going to use small amounts of that though, because it can take over pretty quickly. Ooh, I don't know about that green in there. I think as I layer it, it's going to be cool. So I'm going to use this sparingly. And this is a great pro tip, guys, on doing sample pieces for your customers. You can have the coolest color scheme figured out in your head, and you get those colors down on the board and you go, oh boy. So test out, do smaller projects to begin with. If you're testing new colors out, don't go slam that theory out on a customer's kitchen and then regret that later. So do a little sample board. Go get yourself that $20 little table from Walmart that comes with legs. You can make them, oh golly, spillage. Guys, learn right now how I clean up a spill. This is why I have the floor covered. This is why I have my table covered. Epoxy can get messy. So I had a little spill, quickly grab that paint stick and scoop most of that into your cup. Barely any loss. Whew. Man, quick on my feet. All right, this is crazy. That green is much more yellow than that royal green. I could probably add some black to that and tone it down, but we could just do that with some of our black colors here. So you could come bring in some of your colors again. Come bring in some of that black and tone down that green if you don't like it. The whole point, guys, is layering here. This is, could really get some cool pieces by layering like this. All right, what haven't we used? I'm gonna add some more of this blue in there. I'm gonna add more of that blue where the green is. And then I'm gonna come and get my magic trowel and start melding this. Okay, cool. Boom. Let me show you real quick before I move to my magic trowel what the alcohol will do to this. So at this point, I just have some accent colors brought in. I've got my base color down. And now this could be a finish all in itself, but it looks a little too man-made to me. And to soften that up, you could use a heat source. You could use isopropyl alcohol. This is my go-to to make the piece look more natural. Add some selling, add some lacing, 91% isopropyl. I'll do a puddle in my hand and give myself bigger droplets, because the combination of the big and then I do little quarter pulls where it's barely spitting out, and I'll hit the whole piece. And then as the alcohol hits the paste, as it hits the metallic powders and dyes, they all fight each other. And the blue ghost really makes those tiny fracture lines. And when this gets back to self-leveled, this is gonna be a sweet looking piece. I'm gonna let this chill out for a second, guys. I'll answer some questions, because before I move on to the next step, I'm gonna let this self-level to really show you what this looks like. So a simple hand, look right here, how layering those colors and then you hit it with the alcohol, it comes to life. It's awesome. How long does it, J Watt 73 has a great question. How long does it take a project like this to dry before you add the 2-part epoxy over the top for the clear coat? Great question, Jay Watt. So our Stone Coat Countertop epoxy is open and workable for about 1 hour to about an hour and a half. You're going to be able to manipulate this epoxy, get it to look just how you want it, and then it's going to be dry, cured for the next step between 18 and 24 hours. If you come back for a clear coat before 24 hours, there's no need to sand. The epoxy is still chemically open for a clear coat, and it's going to bond tenaciously. So 18 to 24 hours is how long we're going to wait before the next step, which will be a clear coat of epoxy. When that dries, the next day we'll come back with the ultimate top coat, which is this matte finish right here. We also have a high gloss finish, but the matte to me is my favorite. Come take a look at this, Nate. Oh my gosh. This is like an alligator skin look in here that is so pretty. It's something about that blue ghost that I don't know what the heck's in there. If somebody wants to reverse engineer that, tell me what's in there. We could go into business and make a small fortune. Let's do this. Can you guys tell me something about waste the pouring brings? Are the buckets reusable? Is the dried up epoxy easy to remove? Great question. So what we do with our buckets like this when we're all done is I flip them upside down and let them dry. The next day, I'll let them sit a day or two. You'll have usually have a thin layer of epoxy right here. Then I'll grab it, pinch it, and then it pulls out like a glove. And this bucket is perfect. These little guys here, they're so inexpensive, and they have these little ridges. I often just throw them away, to tell you the truth. But I will dump them out. If I know I'm gonna make Carrara marble again and I have a couple white and black cups, I'll reuse those, but most of the time those are throwaway. The magic trowel, completely reusable. I'll take alcohol, wipe it off before its use. When I'm done, excuse me, and then I'll sit it right like that, and it dries perfect, totally reusable time and time again. The mixing paddle, I just let that drip dry and keep using it till it's really filled. And then I warm it up with a heat gun, and then you could crack it off, peel it right off once it's built up. But I have probably months of use on that mixing paddle before I even have to fart with it. And the notch trowels, I just set those up, all the epoxy runs off, totally reusable. This piece is a piece it's ready to rock. I absolutely love tons about this, but we're not done, guys. We're gonna level it up. What do you think I should do? I don't know. I'm digging the silver and blues and blacks. I mean, golly, it makes a fantastic piece. I like the flow, I like the striated look. The green is a little too much, I think. Let me know in the comments below, what do you think about the green? Is it too olivey? What y'all think? Maybe I'm gonna save this for a little dirty pour. I'm gonna bring in some more Crater Lake right in here. All right, I'm gonna do a Crater Lake pour, and then I'm gonna bring that up and over with the magic trowel. What I mean by that is I'm gonna put the tip of my trowel into the blue, and then with light pressure, walk it up. And I'm gonna bring the silver and do the same thing. Trust the process. Where's my silver? Right here. Grab that silver. And with different amounts of pressure, you really can change where that color goes. And I think what I'll do is magic trowel this whole piece. And I'm barely, guys, I'm touching the trowel with my fingertips. The edge of it's here in my hand, and I'm using very, very subtle pressure. You can see how it kind of skips around. I'm just barely moving it. Mitch, you just ruined it. It looks so pretty. It's okay, guys. There's so much time to work with this. I'm here to show you the possibilities of the epoxy. I was happy with that piece. Many customers would have said, winner, bingo wings, let's roll with that. But here I am. I have the epoxy. I have unlimited use of epoxy resin, unlike you guys, unless you want to support our business and help it grow. But that's why I'm here, guys. We're here at our QVC style show, showing you the possibilities of what these colors can do with, oh my gosh. Sorry, I got distracted. I'm just doing a fine mist now over that project. And then we're gonna let that chill out. And then you guys are gonna let me know what you think of it. Holy cow. And some of these bigger drops really make a big difference. So I do even a puddle. You can see the puddle in there? And then just throw them bigger drops. It can really move the colors and give you some more organic. Mother Nature is not usually a repeatable pattern. However, there are repeatable patterns in Mother Nature. I have plenty of blotchy, boring countertops, but that also looks like laminate. So if you wanted laminate, you wouldn't be at this awesome channel where you could save more on your kitchen countertops, making them look way better than laminate using stone coat epoxy. That is sick. You see what that, just floating that color across, it broke down that real striated look. It made it more flowing. And then the alcohol comes in and fractures it and gets you some pretty cool stuff. I don't know about that green. Maybe I could do green and black together. Let's try that right here. Green, black. So this right here, guys, is a technique all its own as well. I'll layer a few colors. And then I get this trowel. Whoa. And then I'll clean the trowel off, and you also can add some pretty cool
We got any light color set?
fracturing. Light color, silver is about the lightest color we have for this one.
That's right, dark recipe.
Dark recipe, yeah, this is more of a darker countertop, but look what the fracture lines do in that ghost. Yeah, but totally, you could bring a white into this, which I wish I had some clear because I would add some white dye. That could add some pretty, because when you use this trowel on white dye and you bring it over all these metallics and dyes like that, it can add some really pretty lacing. And these fracture lines look kind of weird at first, but when you hit it again with alcohol, it can add some cool effects. That is a little bit unmatchy-matchy. I don't likey. So let's tone it down a little more black. And silver. Where's my silver? Way over here. Oh, that's kind of cool. I'm gonna hit that with alcohol. I'm gonna hit that fracturing I did with alcohol. So there is a downside of alcohol, guys. You can add too much at one time. You can see I add a little bit, I let it dissipate, I let it evaporate and do its thing. If I keep slamming alcohol in, you'll get giant puddles sitting on the surface that then muddy up those colors. They over blend them. I'm sorry, I'm distracted. That looks really cool. I'm not farting with that. I think I'm gonna do more of that. I'm gonna bring more silver over that and then fracture it. That looks cool. Guys, let me know your favorite part. We got the whole flowing melding section with the magic trowel. We got the fractured section where I chopped that piece. Or we got the kind of the beginning look. I haven't farted with this section very much. Let me know. We got section 3, section 2, and section 1 is this far one I just first talked about. Let me know in the comments which you like most. And right here, guys, right here, this is a little bit of too much alcohol. It's pushed down against my board. So what you want to do when you see that is just break up the surface tension. I'll take my gloved finger and touch those spots. And then they should come back, self-level out, no problem. I'm gonna come grab my heat source at this point and remove all the air bubbles. You could see the surface is covered in micro bubbles. That's from mixing the epoxy, that's from adding my colors, and that's also from using the magic trowel and working with it. So to remove the air bubbles, you heard this many a times, just grab a heat source. I like a propane torch. And before I torch, guys, let me know in the comments below any Q&A questions. Do you have project questions? Let me know in the comments below. I'm here to help. And Chris, drop that link one more time. Don't forget our Prime Day sales are happening now. 20% off our best-selling epoxy art coat designed for the white and light countertops, but it can be used for any color countertop. It's our most UV resistant epoxy coating. It's the most UV resistant epoxy coating in the entire epoxy industry, and I'll stand behind that statement until the day I die. We test our competitors in a weather machine, frequently making sure that our formulation is still top tier, best of the best, and it certainly is. I'm gonna use this heat source now to remove air bubbles. I'm just gonna sweep the project about 1 inch or so, and if I was all done with this project, I love it, I'm complete, I don't want to fart with it a single second more, I would torch this a minimum of 3 times. I'd let it cool about 3 to 5 minutes in between torching, but that will eliminate any air I've incorporated into that resin while working with it. Stone Coat was designed for the do-it-yourselfer, just like yourself. Somebody brand new with epoxy, this resin doesn't stink. You could go right over your existing surface. You could do it in a small bathroom without stinking out the entire neighborhood. Golly, I sound like a salesman. Yo! What's up?
How long do you wait after you spray the alcohol before you torch?
Ooh, that's a good question. So when I first spray, there's dimples all over there. That's the water and alcohol, you know, weighting down. It's selling out the resin. It's affecting those colors. When you see your project get pretty much back to smooth, you don't see like you dropped 1,000 marbles all over it. The alcohol's pretty much evaporated. Rule of thumb, give it about 3 to 5 minutes after you've sprayed before you hit it with the alcohol. If you hit it with the torch and it catches on fire, just a quick blow like that usually dissipates it, goes right out. The epoxy is not flammable. It won't continue to boil and then burn down your entire house. It will not do that. And if the blowtorch is a little intimidating for you DIY Betties out there, grab a heat gun. It does the same thing. That heat gun blows a little air, so it will ripple your color effects just a little bit. So if I'm using that heat gun to remove air bubbles, I'm gonna pull it up a little bit so that blowing hot air isn't rippling and melding the resin where I don't want it to. Where the torch, you just work real quick. It doesn't move my resin. That heat hits the surface, it breaks up the surface tension, the micro bubbles go bye-bye, and you're left with a rock hard, glass smooth, fantastic DIY countertop that saved you tens of thousands of dollars versus paying the Home Depot or some contractor to show up weeks late to do your granite. Take your kids out on a vacation. Don't invest in granite and be upset that the color is now out of style 5 years later and you haven't even paid it off yet. Go with epoxy. Redo your countertops 5 years later. It's going to cost you $200. Lightly sand, new coat. You're off to the races. Let's go. Man, this is looking sick as it levels. This is tight. I don't even know how I did this. I guess I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch this video. Let's remove the air. Those fracture lines are tight. Chris, what are folks saying about them fracture lines? Should I do more of those? Should I do more green? The green, as it peaks up, is tickling my fancy. At first I went, yikes. What?
Yeah, someone was asking about the green. I'll do more.
Okay, Dragonstone. Thank you, folks. I assume OST cost, what's that mean? Should be fairly set up to maintain the depth. I don't understand that one. Sorry. All right, I'm gonna add some more green. People have said it. We've got epoxy to use, but it's pretty crazy. It's pretty loud, so you don't want to do too much. I think that little magic trowel vein pull I did was pretty awesome. That had my forest green. That's a good name for that color. This is my ghost blue. And this is my Crater Lake and black metallic custom mix. Look at that in there. Oh, that's pretty. Crater Lake blue. Let me show it to them. This is the normal color of Crater Lake blue. That is quite vivid. I swam in the bosom of Crater Lake blue. It was wonderful. You could actually drink the water of this lake. It's so clean. Wow, I'm ruining this metallic with my epoxy hands. But I just took a Crater Lake full bag to a full bag of black, mixed them to create this color, and I really, really love it. It's like a royal blue. No need for the royal blue in the system anymore. Just mix black and Crater Lake, and you have yourself a really, really pretty custom color. Little silver. Now let's drag that cool vein, boy. I'm excited now. I'm having fun. I am having fun. Whoa, I don't know about that. It pulled all my fracture lines away. So I'm going to have to, oops, I don't like that. I'm going to refracture this. So I'm just going to, with really light pressure, kind of skip trowel across this. But I mean, I'm mixed at 20 till. So we've been going at it for, I mixed 20 to 130. Golly. That's crazy. Too much screen to me. I'm gonna cover that with a little silver. A little ghost blue. Magic trowel. We just updated our, yeah, that's cool. Bring that silver back. We just updated our tool links, guys. I've updated our most frequently used tools for fabricating countertops, floors, woodworking, everything. Check it out. We've updated our website. Let me know. What do you think of that? Can you guys still find your favorite products? Did we improve it? Is it worse? How can we make that better? Let us know. YouTube is the world's freest, most brutal focus group there is. We have learned a lot from our YouTube audience. And we can't thank you enough for that. You could see why alcohol is one of my favorites. I mean, it takes a bland looking counter, and at first you go, what did you just do to this? But as it levels out, golly, it's awesome. I'm digging it. And I like the brighter silver in there. It lightened the piece up. Whoever said that in the comments, thank you. Let's go to some questions. Christine, are you guys in California? That's quite a ways to travel. No, we are in Southern Oregon, and we no longer ship out of Southern Oregon, so there really isn't a facility you can come visit us in, unfortunately. Boom. What is this? After first coat, can you go back and re-pour another layer to add depth? Absolutely. Some of the best pieces myself and or Mike created were pieces that we weren't that thrilled about. We came back the next day kind of using the same color scheme, lightly sand if it's past 24 hours and throw on more colors. You could have an amazing countertop that comes to life. You're gonna use more material, but golly, yes, the answer is yes. You can make some awesome stuff if you do 2 coats. I don't promote it. I mean, they're going to use additional epoxy. There's no need for that. But unless you're going for that look, you can get some awesome stuff. All right. Let's go. The stone looks realistic. Do you guys do realistic wood grain as well? I'd love to see that. Great call out. I'm not going to read that username. Dee, whatever the heck's behind it, but Dee, great call out. Let me make you a wood grain countertop. We go live every other Thursday. And speaking of lives on Thursday, this week, I'm going to be live on location. I don't know exactly what time. I'm going to say anywhere from 11 to 2 o'clock Pacific time on Thursday. We're going to be going live on location. I'm prepping and applying epoxy flake over a small concrete slab and then a wood deck right next to it. We're going to make them look both exactly the same, covered in epoxy flake. It's going to be real cool live. I'm going over everything having to do with epoxy flake. And don't forget, right now, I know I've said it a bunch, Prime Day sale happening right now. Click the link. Chris is going to drop it. Takes you to our Prime Day deals. Our saw guide and our art coat, both 20% off for the next 2 days. And while you're there, grab some additives, guys, and jump over to artisttilldeath.com or RK3 Designs and pick up some of these cool colors, because some of these pastes, whew, I'm distracted again. This looks cool. So look at this green, dude. Come show them this. I was a little nervous about the green, but I kind of like how it's looking. I'll change it if y'all hate it, but this is kind of cool combo. I don't know. Can you use art coat to cast figurines? That's a great question. Depending on how big the figurine is, yes, you absolutely can. So art coat and countertop epoxy was designed and formulated for the countertop finish. But that doesn't mean you can't pour residual epoxy into a little thing like this that's thicker than an 1/8 inch. It's all dependent on volume. If I had a coaster that was this big by, you know, a 1/2 inch thick, I'm not gonna have, that's gonna exotherm. That's a little too much. But a little figurine, a chess piece, totally you could use art coat. I've made chess pieces using art coat epoxy. And I have a little extra, so let me make a little coaster set, which is a pro tip for you professionals out there, guys. You're usually always gonna mix up a hair too much epoxy when making your countertops for your customer, which I definitely did. I have way too much green. I should have known better that that green is not gonna, you know, I'm not gonna use as much of that green as I would the blues, because it is loud, it's obnoxious. It's a beautiful color in there. Just removing air in there, guys, is all I was doing. So what I'm gonna do is make a baby exotic pour right now using my leftover colors. An exotic pour is just pouring tinted colors. Let me get a stick because these are almost empty. It's just pouring tinted colors into a bucket and then pouring those colors out onto the countertop. And you get what you get. You don't throw a fit, and oftentimes the pieces are very beautiful if you've picked complementary colors. Erica from Artist Till Death is a true trained artist, as well as her husband Thornton. She teaches color theory, all sorts of stuff that's way above my pay grade. Like I'm saying, Erica, what color goes good with this? And she'll tell me, and it usually works out great. Check her out on YouTube, Artist Till Death. You won't regret it. Great channel, great people, awesome products in epoxy colors. Bam, look at that. What if we put this on there, should we?
I do, man.
Ooh, okay, I'm doing it. Let me get it. Nate said he'd do it, I'm doing it. That's that Crater Lake color. I love that. All right, let's make some coasters, and then I'll pour a vein, and then we'll wrap this bad boy up.
Would you use a sticker on the vein?
Yes, I will, just because you said so. So yeah, you could pour a mat, you could pour that and then drag it. That's what we're doing. But right now I'm gonna make myself a little coaster holder. So if you did this for your customer with the same colors you made their counters, they're gonna like this present more than their entire counters. Ask me how I know. I'm like, stop talking about the coasters, your counters are awesome. I regretted it.
We need to make a countertop that matches your shoes.
What? That would be horrendous. I love this piece. I don't know if I want to do an exotic pour in it. When you drag that trowel, you get this cool, like, you'll see that in granite. I was in a granite installer for well over a decade. And my favorite part was you get the flowing granite, then you get this contrasting section out of nowhere, like, and it always makes me think, what the heck was going on the planet when that piece of stone was made? I wouldn't want to be here. We'd be incinerated. But it would be cool to watch. I've always had that thought. All right, I'm pouring a vein. I don't care. That's why I'm here. I'm here to play. I'm going to go right here with it. Tight into that. We're going to pull it with the trowel. But this is an exotic pour. You can make entire countertops like this, but we're just doing an accent vein with it. Golly. That's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. I don't know if I want to mess with it. I do. I'm messing with it. I'm going to pull some this way and some that way. It's a lot of green. Boy, I don't know. Ooh, while I'm waiting for that to level down, I'm going to come back now and do some of this again. And just kind of change the angles. When you see these little, so when I pick it up, you'll see a little epoxy pool like that. That's awesome. That's part of the effect. So don't panic when you see that. When you come back and hit it with the isopropyl, it makes it look natural. And I've seen fracturing like this in granite 100%. I love epoxy. This stuff is awesome. Pretty fun, guys. This is not work. You can do this over existing surfaces or building fresh. We teach you everything you need to know. And if you need your handheld, you need to want to turn this into a business, check out rk3designs.com, guys. Hands-on training. That's our hands-on training instructor that we recommend. Rhonda and Kenny take that so serious. You're part of the family when you leave. You have their cell phone number. Not only are you learning countertop finishes and designs, you have a access to Kenny and Rhonda while you're on site and you run into issues. They've got your back. It's really amazing. I'm not touching that piece because I love that. Okay, more alcohol, and then we're calling this. I wonder, Jay Blake asks, I wonder if you could do a rainbow oil slick. Ooh, dang. That's true. I wonder what motor oil would do in the epoxy. Ding. It might turn it brown. That's the least it does. All right, but no, that's a cool idea. I've never made a rainbow slick, but that sounds kind of cool. I'm gonna mist this bad boy with some clear alcohol. The isopropyl will also pop bubbles, guys. So when I'm doing floors, I use a heavy pump sprayer, and the alcohol pops all my micro bubbles for me. I don't need to torch our floor epoxy. Does it have any guarantee? I have an upcoming project and would like to use your project. Your client is asking questions. So for sure, we have, our epoxy is warranted against cracking, peeling, burning for well over a year, a couple years. It also, it's dependent on how the customer cares for their kitchen is a part of it. But if you follow our best practices, I have countertops installed well over a decade, still secured, still functioning properly, working great, guys. This is a real solution for a countertop problem, guys. Everybody knows somebody with nasty old laminate if it isn't yourself. And everybody goes into a granite shop, or they go into the Home Depot and they have sticker shock the second they hear how much they're going to charge them for brand new granite countertops. My brother and I were granite installers. That's literally how we came up with this product idea. We're seeing how much people are paying for granite. We're going, there's got to be a solution. There's got to be tons of people that get that and go, oh, I'm good with the laminate. For a few $100, guys, you don't have to be good with that nasty, ancient pink laminate. Follow the steps in our videos we have on our YouTube channel. We teach you every step how to properly prepare that laminate, coat right over it, turn it into something you absolutely love, rather than something you want to go, we got to change this, honey. When's our taxes coming back? Because I certainly do not want to pay 10 grand to the granite shop for them to come out here with a chunk of polished rock. Make it yourself. You are going to own it. You're going to love it. And then you're going to be able to match whatever the heck you want. If you have a psychedelic chicken picture hanging up that you can't live without, match your countertops to it. It's happened. Ask Rhonda from RK3. She matched a beautiful psychedelic chicken, and her countertops look fire, man. It was awesome. All right, I'm going to go quickly through some Q&A while I let that alcohol dissipate. I'm going to quickly torch this. This is way more green than I thought, but I'm digging it. I'm loving the color scheme. Sherry, is there any flex once dried? Definitely. So we had to develop this epoxy for the overhangs, guys. You got your peninsulas that you could sit up and eat at. If somebody plops their, in my case, fat butt on the corner of your countertop and it flexes, that can't fracture. So there is some flexual properties to the epoxy. So the warmer it gets, if you have something really hot, the epoxy warms, it's going to flex a little bit, but as it cools, it returns to its normal state. Great question. Ray asks, love your works, guys. Is your resin suitable to be used in a heated bathroom floor? Absolutely. Radiant heat will not affect the epoxy. It's still going to bond. It won't affect its durability or longevity. It may insulate that warmth a little bit. So we have a coffee machine here. We have a steel tumbler we put under there. And we have a steel tumbler that we've coated with resin. If you use the steel tumbler without the resin, you barely can touch that steel cup to pour into your mug. The one with epoxy insulates it. So that epoxy is going to insulate that heat subtly. That being said, over a cold concrete floor, it's going to be a little less cold if you put some epoxy down. All right, Carrie asks, what about the drips on the sides? When do you guys wipe them away? Fantastic question. If this is a project I'm pouring in my shop like this, it's not in a customer's home, I would just let the drips be. My buddy KCDC Designs, Keith, he sticks around and scrapes those drips. That way you have no sanding. If I'm on site, I don't want to sand out my customer's house. I don't want to risk sanding the bottom side and hitting the cabinet. I'm going to stick around in between hour 2 and 3. The epoxy's done leveling. It's pretty much done dripping. It's thickened up. I'm going to take this paint stick. I'll show you in the front here since you absolutely did not see a thing I did right there. And I'm going to take my paint stick, mixing stick, and I'll just hold it right at the bottom and I scrape my board. And between hour 2 and 3, this epoxy is super thick. It'll barely run off of there. It's done self-leveling, so no more drips will show up. And then the next day, it's nice and smooth. The top's coated, the edge is coated, and then it's encapsulated underneath. That countertop is going to be solid versus water. I'm going to grab that torch before I answer any more questions and remove this air. Torch is way up there. This has been a fun live. How long have we been going? Almost an hour. Oh my God, we got to finish. The fracture lines are cool. Okay. It's done. It's too green though. Too verde. Mas verde. Let's tone her down. Doing it right now. I don't care what y'all say. Toning it down. Tone it down, Big Mitch. I love doing this for you guys. Let me know in the comments below, how long have you been watching Stone Coat on YouTube? I have been an employee of Stone Coat since we had 5,000 subscribers. That is a long time ago. I used to call my brother on the way home from work. I was a contractor building buildings, and after I did granite forever, I had to have a fake hip put in because of granite. So I started being a contractor, building contractor, but I would call Mike almost every day, like, dude, how much today? Because I knew how much labor it went into doing granite, right? And Mike started teaching and selling epoxy without having to go install heavy granite countertops. So it was a pretty cool experience on following Mike in the beginning on how this company became to be and how he grew it to what it is now. I joined long ago, and I sure am happy I did. It's been a fun ride. It's been really fun learning how to be an epoxy teacher and going out to Rondas and doing those hands-on training. I started out as customer service in this company. I would help people learn their projects, what the heck they needed. But my favorite part was helping people do their project. Then they would have the skill. Oop, that's more green. I'm not adding more green. This exotic port is too green. Then those people that did their project in their house, their neighbors came and said, can you do this for my counter? And then they're saying, Mitch, what do I do, bro? I'm like, well, first off, you got to be licensed, blah, 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 all that. I walked people through it. I walked a garbage man. He hated his job. He was a garbage man. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I wouldn't have to deal with a lot of stuff. I wouldn't have to deal with corporate if I was a garbage man. But anyway, this guy was sick of it. And he did his counters, and he's like, my neighbor wants it. I walked him through it, and he called me 6 months after this thing. Like, we were in touch for a while, then I lost touch with him. He quit his job as a garbage man and became a full-time business owner for himself. That, I think, is my biggest achievement at this company personally. Was true American freedom in this country comes from working for yourself, not for Big Brother, not for the corporate monster, for yourself. And this guy was able to take some skills that he learned on YouTube, that he learned from us, they learned from customer service, apply them to his life, get out of driving the truck and make some real money and real freedom. I mean, goosebumps. Look at that. Still, God, I'm hairy. I'm disgusting. That's kind of cool. I added more green though. I mean, I'm done. I'm done messing with this. I'm gonna answer a couple more questions, then we're calling it a day. But don't forget, 20% off Art Coat right now. Click the link in the description below. Save 20% off Art Coat and our straight cut saw guide. You get 2 rails. We teach you how to turn those 2 rails into a straight cut saw guide. You also get a plate for your saw. I'm not going to pick up my saw because I'm epoxy covered, but that plate mounts to your base. Then that base goes right in our saw guide. You clamp the saw guide wherever you want on your sheet good, and with simple 2-finger operation, you could cut away and it's going to stay right where you want it. Way less money than paying for any comparable saw guide. So check it out. Check that link. Chris, drop it for him. I'm going to answer a couple of questions and then I'm out of here. So if you want your question answered, ask it right now. I have ugly tile in my kitchen. Can I just pour over the tile without removing it? Yes, you absolutely can. We have a series on the channel over tile. It's green. It's a part 1 and 2. We also have a live where we poured the counters, but we show you every step along the way on how to not demo tile. You self-level over that, then pour your epoxy. Instant countertops versus demoing. You'll save tons of money. Stone Coat. I live in the UK. I'm interested in possibly cladding my bathroom walls. Cladding. I love the way the UK is all different, but I know what you're talking about. May I ask, what are the panels you use, please? So this is dense foam, insulating foam that we get at our hardware stores. It's pretty dense, but what we did here is we reinforced it with our fiber mesh and quick coat. We sell these products on our website. we tinted it white, and then we cover it, you know, then at this point you're ready for this step right here. And that's what this wall panel is behind me. It's made out of foam. You can seam them together. You can make any lightweight waterproof wall panel using some dense foam picked up at your hardware store. How long, Jeremy is asking, how long after pouring epoxy can you put on the top coat? Great question. I would say 18 to 24 hours. So if this is going in a customer's home, I would let this cure. I would come back tomorrow and I'd apply 3 ounces of clear epoxy. That's gonna add a little bit of depth. That's gonna add epoxy to my edges, protecting them. And then I'm gonna come back and do the ultimate top coat if my customer desires that. That takes down the sheen to a matte look and takes durability to maximum. Boom, great question. How long? Okay, next one would be, already read that one. Will those chop lines stay? Will you be able to see them in the end result? So yeah, these little chop lines will definitely stay at this point. So at first they were real loud, kind of obnoxious. If this is still obnoxious for you, you could come back with that magic trowel and smooth them out. But when I hit them with the alcohol, it kind of gives it a more natural look. And there's definitely natural stone out there that has those fracture lines in it. So that's just an epoxy technique that can practically be applied to any epoxy countertop that you're doing. You know, you got it down, you're like, it's all right, but what else could I do? Number one, you can mist it with alcohol. That takes it up a notch. Number two, you could grab a trowel and you could chop those lines in. That adds another effect to it. It doesn't have to be the whole thing. It could be little sections of it. It really got, here's another pro tip, guys. If you need some inspiration, head to Google granite slab shop near me. Boom, Google that, or Bing it, or Safari it, whatever the heck you do. Do that, and then go to that granite shop. So I've done it myself, incognito. I took my Stone Coat shirt off, and I had a camera right here in my overalls, my cell phone. I'm like walking around. Oh, how much does this one cost, man? Like, you know, and they knew who I was, so they wouldn't tell me the pricing, because I was doing opposition research for video, because they color code the granite slabs in the granite shop. When you Google that and you go look at it for inspiration, they're gonna say, oh, this is a purple code. Why do they color code it? Because when they say this is $115 a square foot before we even fabricate it, you're walking the heck out of there and you're Googling, do-it-yourself countertop options. We own that keyword. Or less expensive countertop options. We own that one too. That's where you're gonna find Stone Coat Epoxy, and you're gonna be happy you did, guys. Renew old, nasty, worn out surfaces for 10 times less going to the big box store for other countertop options. You got this. Learn step by step from us here at Stone Coat. We have tutorial videos. This is our live, crazy, lunatic show where I'm kind of Mr. QVC, Billy Mays, but we slow it down. We hold your hand. We walk over step by step. We have helpful resources on our website, stonecoatcountertops.com. All the products seen in this video are available. Tutorials, step-by-steps, customer support over the phone. We got your back. You got this. I'm gonna torch this and I'm gonna get the heck out of here. I have talked a lot. I'm getting better at these. This is my favorite section though, I will tell you that. I'm not so pleased with this wild blue. I ran out of silver, so if I would have brought some silver on top of here, it would have toned down this green and blue and really brought it into this level. But I'm out. I made that exotic pour. That was a fail. Live and learn. Learn by me. Learn vicariously. Do sample pieces, guys. If you learn anything from today, do a sample piece before you do your kitchen. You will not regret it. And before I leave, I'm gonna answer a few more questions and then I'm out of here. Let's go back behind Chris. Let's go to the command center. Follow me back here, bro. Let's go. What's up, Chris?
What's up?
Where are we at? Where's our super chat? How much top coat do you apply? Do you sand before? Brandon's asking, how much top coat do you apply? So on the product description, on the ultimate top coat, we have it broke down. Rhonda at RK3 Designs and Michelle Ellsworth, awesome epoxy artisans, have figured out the mathematical formula to tell you exactly how much UTC to use. So when you're on our website, you're on the Ultimate Top Coat product listing, check out those assets we left you. It tells you exactly how much. You're gonna multiply, if off the top of my head, multiply the amount of square footage by 0.275 to determine how many ounces of Ultimate Top Coat to mix. Ooh, I could be wrong though, so you might wanna check that paperwork. All right, let's go. We got Keith, thanks for being here, buddy. Artist Till Death, those are our moderators. We love you guys, thanks for your support. Building a Formite RV to do a shower. Oh, Vivian, awesome. Our shower walls are absolutely perfect for the RV system. We were out at a reality show called Gutted. It's available on Blank Space, the app, for free. But we went out there and some customers from Stonecoat used our products to redo an RV. It's lightweight, very perfect for the RV. There's no lightweight RV shower solution except for ours. You found it right here. Check it out. And I have a brand new series coming out on showers. So if you haven't, subscribe, guys. Subscribe to the channel. We have some amazing stuff coming. Where are we at? How long does it have to sit before you can walk on it? The floor in epoxy is going to sit about 24 hours before you can walk on it. And if you're going to do the Ultimate Top Coat floor, same deal. You're going to let that dry at least 24 hours before light foot traffic. You can drive on the floor in epoxy at a 3-day cure. Boom, that's pretty cool, huh? Okay, where are we at? Love these lives learning because I'm tackling my bathroom vanity and creating my first piece ever. You go! Woo! First piece ever, you got this! All right, I'm done. Thank you. I've been looking. All right, I've been trying to put gloss on a stoned butterfly. It was made from granite and gravel. What do I use for gloss? Can I use the stone spray? I would do a clear coat of epoxy over something like that. The epoxy will bond well to granite and gravel, especially if it's like contoured like that. It'll penetrate in and really bite. So I would do multiple 3 ounce per square foot coats till you build it up, and you could get that glass smooth and really, really look good. Ooh, clip that. Oh, you got that, Luke. All right, what else? Okay, don't forget, folks, before I leave, I will be going live. I saw some smoke. Artist Till Death saw smoke coming out of my ears as I was computing that math. You're probably dang right, too. Sorry. All right, where was I? Okay, going live this Thursday between 11 and 2 Pacific time, on location, on a floor, doing flake over concrete and wood decking. Don't miss that show. It's going to be a lot of fun. I forgot to give away a slab jig and a stinking saw guide. Well, okay. Who wants a slab jig and who wants a saw guide? Let me know in the comments below. Are people still watching? Are you guys still there? Are you alive?
We have 120 people watching.
All right, that's you have a 1 in 120 odd of winning a slab jig if you let me know right now if you could use one. We will be here. You guys should be too. Okay, nobody wants one, it looks like. How long is the lag, bro?
It should be like 10, 20 seconds at most.
Can I epoxy a floor in my pre-built shed? Absolutely. Pete, for sure, man. Pete, that's a great question. We have a video on the channel, epoxy over wood. Very simple process. It's easier than going over concrete. All right, heck of people want the slab jig. So I'm gonna let this go for a second, then I'm gonna close my eyes and point, and then we're gonna send that guy or woman or person a slab jig. How's that like? Yeah, and then it's gonna be up to you guys to send me your shipping information.
That's right.
I still have a couple slab jigs to send. I haven't forgot about you if you're still watching. We got, okay, there's a plenty here. Here we go. Pete Carvo, you win the slab jig, and Vivian wins the straight cut saw guide. Look at that. That was fun. That was the fairest I could do it, guys. Sorry. I like slammed into the monitor.
Yeah, you did.
Mike would be so mad at me for that. When I would touch the monitor, he'd smack me.
His touch screen.
His was a touch screen. Mine will be like, bro, what about this part? And it would like totally screw up the whole screen. So
Would, yep.
yeah, that was a fun memory. All right, guys, I appreciate y'all being here. Pete and Vivian, email me at mitch@stonecoatcountertops.com. Your shipping address. I'll get that slab jig and straight cut saw guide sent out right away. And for those of you left, don't forget, there's a present for everyone. 20% off right now, Art Coat. Check out the link in the description below. Send it right now, Chris. Full send. Control V. He's got it. Boom. Prime Day deals happening right now and tomorrow. Ends tomorrow, 20% off. Thanks for being here, everybody. And don't forget, from Stone Coat Epoxy, you got this, and we'll see you in 2 days, Thursday, on location, Epoxy Flake Flooring. Be there, or you're going to miss the show.
Yep.
Peace. All right, end it. Bye.
I have
Bye.
the button.
Good. Can I move?